Once again, we'd like to thank you for tuning in to the Keith Harris Show Global Network right here on HotlineRadio.net. Today with us, we have a wonderful special guest on the show today. This guy does a bit of it all. Larry Parmiter. Larry, am I saying that right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Larry Parmiter, actor and director. He's got a wonderful movie coming out. Great cast. Going to be a big deal. A lot of action, some blood spilling and things of that nature. So he's here and he's going to be talking to us about that as well. So first and foremost, how you doing today, Larry? Great. Now, where are you at right now? You on the East Coast or the West Coast or?
I'm actually in Belfry, Ohio.
Oh, okay. So you're in Ohio. So on the East Coast, but a bit up north. How's the weather been looking there today?
It's pretty cool. Probably about 30 degrees or so, I think.
I know that's right, especially up there in your area. That's how it is. Okay. Now to get started out, all right. Let's talk a bit first of all, you're originally from Bethesda, Maryland.
Yeah, I was born. My dad was in the Navy, so I was born in the Bethesda Naval Hospital.
Oh.
We went from there. I lived in Gibraltar when I was 3. I was there for about a year. Then we moved to Texas. And we moved back to Ohio when I was about 5. So I've been in Ohio since I was 5.
Oh, okay. I asked that question because I had, I grew up in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. I grew up in Temple Hills, as a matter of fact. So familiar territory to me.
Yeah, so I went back one time when I was 18, just checked it out. But I haven't been back.
Okay. All right. Now, so let's talk about kind of how you got into the industry first. You started out as a DJ and a karaoke host, right?
Yeah. Okay. Actually, before that, I was a sports marketing agent, and here's a funny story. I don't know if you're ready for a funny story yet or not, but one of our actors that's in the movie, Major Harris, who was a college football Hall of Famer, played for W. I was actually one of his sports marketing agents, and he would come to a Honda signing that I, held for him, and he was an hour late because it's about 2.5 hours away. And we ended up, just sitting there for karaoke. I'd never seen karaoke before, and I was telling Major, I said, wow, hey, this is kind of fun. It's pretty interesting.
Right.
So for 3 hours, he called me every day in the book, and after about 3 hours of them calling me names, I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And I did it, and Major's like, hey, man, that was pretty good. Hey, if you like this, you ought to keep doing it. So within like 3 weeks, I became a karaoke host. After about 3 weeks, and I thought about and was working like 6 days a week after like singing, for 3 weeks of my life, I brought Major into the film too, because everything I kind of, seems like he's always there, whenever it's a pivotal time in my life,
Right. Now, I can imagine being a karaoke host, just to talk about that for just a quick second, like, you must have seen some pretty crazy karaoke acts,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like people come up there and they're tripping and they're, just, I guess, doing the best they can, but they're a little wackied out and stuff like that. That must have been fun, though, right?
Oh, yeah, it's really fun, and sometimes the bad ones are just as entertaining as the good ones. I mean, that's the great thing about karaoke. I mean, you don't have to be, the best singer in the world, and, sometimes people just get up there and they have a nice little performance, and, they're just goofing off or something, having a good time, and, providing a lot of positive energy, and people have a good time, and they like it, so.
Right.
It's fun.
Right, that's what it's all about, fun in general anyway, so hey. Now, okay, some time back, you and your family started Charmed Productions, was it? Is that the name, Charmed Productions?
Semi-Charmed Productions.
Okay, and that is where did that all begin from? You starting, when you got into the film industry itself, or is that a variety of things?
Yeah, Yeah, that's a thing, a production company that we formed whenever we decided we wanted to start making movies.
Mm-hmm. Now, how, now let me ask you, were you always, okay, when you switched up and got to wanting to make the movies, what was it about it? Did you just know you had the talent to do it? Was there something that you liked about movies, or was there something, that you felt like you wanted to bring out that hadn't been explored before? Like, what brought you to that?
Well, probably just like anybody. I mean, I'm sure you sat down and watched, 1,000 movies in your lifetime and enjoy them, and then you're like, you know what? I need to be better than that.
Right.
Yeah, we love horror movies, and we've probably seen like every single horror movie ever made. And there's some of them I'll get like 15 minutes through because it's just like, whoa, there's nothing there. I mean, it's like, we can do this. We want to put something out that's so we decided that we should put our movie out, give it a shot, see what we can do. Mm-hmm. And after we were done, I still think our movie's better than more than half of the ones that we watched
right.
in our lifetime. So
right.
I'm not saying it's still good, but it's a good movie,
Now, now listen, because I've seen a couple of the stills from Axemen in Henderson County, and they look like wonderful scenes. Was that you guys' first production or first project, or?
Yeah, that's our first movie. Here's the crazy thing: we've been talking about making movies for years. And just one day, out of the blue, we're kind of like, do we want to move to Myrtle Beach, or do we want to make a movie? So we took a family vote, and everybody decided not to go to, move to Myrtle Beach, so we're going to try to go ahead and make a movie. And then, I would say 6 months of coming up with the idea of making a movie. My wife wrote the script. We did everything. Within 6 months, the movie was done and ready to go out. So, it all happened like in the past 6 months.
Oh, wow. Now, the plot itself for Axemen in Henderson County, without giving up too much information before people get a chance to see the movie, where did the idea for Axemen come from?
We were watching a documentary one time about real life serial killers, and they did a thing on the Axeman, which I had never heard of him before, and he was an actual person from like 1908 out of New Orleans. And the story just really hit us like, wow, this is an interesting story, because he wrote these real crazy letters to the police department, kind of like taunting them and telling them, if he heard jazz music, he wouldn't kill anybody. And it just, I was like, wow, how come no one's ever made any movies about this? So, my wife decided that that's the movie we were going to make. So, she wrote it, and so it turned out to be a pretty good movie.
Okay. How did you go about casting, for that film in general? Like, did you have an idea of the people who would play the particular roles, or,
We held open casting calls. Mm-hmm. And, we brought Major Harris on board, because, he worked with me before, he was a friend of mine. Mm-hmm. And then, our mayor, who wanted to have, like a national celebrity, we were going to have Tom Savini, and he could only film a certain day. We had everything agreed with him about, the pay and the day and everything. He was willing to do it. Mm-hmm. And then my camera guy couldn't make it that day, so we weren't able to get Tom Savini. So then they went with our second choice, which was Hacksaw Jim Duggan from the WWE Hall of Fame. And I think Hacksaw did a pretty good job in the movie. Mm-hmm. He did a really good job. And then we got Jeremy Ambler. He was a zombie on The Walking Dead. We got him. He lives about 4 hours from us. And I met him with the Clarissa vs. Zombies. We won that movie together. I met him. So I also met Hacksaw on that movie. That's how I got his information and stuff.
Right.
And then the rest of the people, I think all the rest of the people open casting calls. We ended up having like 120 people come out and, do an open casting call for the roles.
Okay. Now, when you started making films compared to when you thought about making films in the first place, has it turned out to be because let me ask you, because you never actually went to school for this, so you kind of you guys were really creative in knowing what you wanted to do, because you didn't take courses to do this or anything, right?
Right.
How I gotta ask you, because filmmaking is not an easy thing. Like, did it? So it just came natural to you, like that, or?
Well, we hired a director of photography to shoot for us.
Oh.
And I directed it and produced it, and
right.
So my wife produced it and stuff. Pretty much everything on set I did. And then behind the scenes she did. She had all the props ready and the craft services. I mean, we were everything. You know what I mean? Most movies have this like big production crew and stuff.
Right.
Basically, it was our director of photography and one of his guys that would kind of like, lights or whatever, and me. That was it. So we were like the whole production crew.
Wow. Well, let me compliment you all on doing, such great work. First of all, on your first project like that, and then just kind of bringing that idea to the table and being able to pull it off so well. Now, let me ask you about your role, okay? Because did you play one role? I know you played Carl Gordon.
I played Carl Gordon, and I played Jimmy, and then I was also a dead body at the end.
Okay. Now,
and then I was the newscaster as far as the voice. I did the voice-over newscaster.
Now, okay. You're looking at releasing. Axemen in Henderson County is looking at releasing in the wintertime, so I guess coming up soon in 2014, and you guys are going to be ready for that?
Well, it's out right now. We had our first premiere November 15th.
Oh, man, really?
So,
dang.
Yeah, we had a premiere in Athens, Ohio. And we haven't done 150 people showed up. Everybody had a really good time. They laughed. Anytime you see a killer, you could hear them gasp and stuff. So it was really fun.
Yeah, and okay, so you know what? Now that I know it's already out, because I want, again, watching, about you guys doing the movie, I'm saying to myself, me and a couple other people, we really want to see that movie. So I'm glad to know now that it's actually out and we can check that. Well, now, okay, I know you had a screening, but when will it be available for people to see? Can they check it out somewhere?
Well, right now we're kind of shopping around distribution deals. We're thinking about possibly sending it to a couple festivals.
Mm-hmm.
But we are selling it on eBay right now.
Oh.
And locally we have a place called the Sound Exchange in Parmiter, West Virginia, and Cutler Junction in Belfry, Ohio, that we have copies available. But like I said, all our online stuff is pretty much through eBay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you know what? Like I said before, the cast, you have a great cast in that movie, first of all. And then, second of all, just the plot behind, the movie. Now, let me ask you, the bloody scenes, okay? So he's killing with the axe. He's chopping people up with this axe, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, so how much, is there going to be a lot of blood, the head, is anybody's head get chopped off?
My head was supposed to be like right in half. They actually made a cast of my head.
Oh, man.
And then, because the other part I played was Jimmy. And then for some reason, I don't know why, our FX guy didn't finish it or didn't want to finish it. I'm not sure what happened there. But, he told me, well, why don't you just shave off your head and we'll shave off the hair, and then we'll just do a cut on your head. And we won't have to use the cast.
Right.
It didn't really come out as good as the way we wanted it to.
Mm.
That part
Right. Now, did you actually have to go through with shaving your hair off?
Yeah, I shaved my head completely off. My hair.
The thing, I guess that's what you had to do. The things you go through, you know what I'm saying, to get to get it done. Now this is a bit of a behind the scenes question, but so people out there kind of get a learning experience. Now, when you shaved your head off to do that scene, like unexpectedly, did it change anything in any scenes that you had shot previously that you would have to rework on? Like, did it change your identity or something, or were you all able to kind of work around that? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, luckily I only had like I said one part before that, and it was already shot, and we didn't have to reshoot it. So.
Oh, okay.
And then what's funny is when I do my dead body scene at the end, that's my third haircut. My first haircut's like a little bit longer when I play Carl. I mean, it's not like long. I mean, it's just like a little bit longer. And I have a little bit of beard. And then the stand is like a little bit shorter, and the beard is even shorter, and you can't really see my face because it's all bloodied up. Oh. And then the next one, I'm completely shaven, my head and my face. Mm-hmm. And my own dad didn't recognize me, so. He's like, oh, you actually like played like two characters. You played two different people. I couldn't even tell it was you.
Hey, you know what? That means you did a good job.
Yeah, and the one thing about the movie is it's more of a like comedy horror kind of. It's like a campy 80s slasher kind of movie. It's not like in your face, this is a really scary type movie, you know what I mean? It's kind of like an homage throwback to like the 80s genre.
Now, did you?
Yeah, does a great job, as far as like, because he's kind of over the top, he's a wrestler, If you've seen the trailer and you see him, just, what are you gonna do about this? He's like screaming at the sheriff and stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine that he was like, like you say, he was, probably like really adding a lot of extra, which was needed, but really coming to the forefront with his part and kind of just being excited in the whole scene during his lines. So I can see that.
Yeah.
Did you?
He was very, very intense. It's cool feeling.
Now, did you intend to? Well, first of all, let me ask you: do you like acting? Like it, have you found? Because I know you wanted to make movies at first, but did you expect yourself to, enjoy the acting part of it, or was that part of the goal as well?
I like the acting part, except I just want like little tiny parts. I don't want like to be like the star of a movie, or I actually have a movie coming out next year that my character is like kind of the star of the movie, but I'm not in it the whole time.
Oh.
Which is just cool. So.
Okay.
But, I probably enjoy, putting the stuff together. It's fun, except, all the pre-production stuff, and putting your cast together and stuff like that. I kind of enjoy that a little bit more.
Okay, basically kind of being on the creative side of things of that nature.
Yeah, like trying to put it all together and find out,
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of an agent at heart, so it's kind of cool assembling your cast that you want, like, or calling, different agents or calling different, celebrities that might want to be in your part, that's what I was used to in the sports field when I was, trying to track down, players I wanted to do appearances with, or try to get them to sign up with my company or whatever, so.
Right. Now, and let's see, and we'll rewind a bit and go into pro wrestlers versus zombies, and you played a zombie in that, right?
Yeah, I was a zombie.
Okay. Now, what was just kind of the plot to that in general? Was it wrestlers? Like, was it the wrestlers really against the zombies? Like, were they wrestling zombies? Like, were you guys?
So basically, there's a wrestler who's Shane Douglas kills a wrestler.
Uh-huh.
And then the wrestler's brother somehow puts like some kind of cast a spell or something.
Mm.
I'm not sure what happens.
Okay.
Cast some kind of spell and makes all these zombies.
Mm.
And these zombies are after Shane Douglas. So they're at this event. The event's supposed to take place at a prison in West Virginia.
Mm.
But it's actually filmed in the city park over in our hometown, which is about 2 hours away from the prison.
Okay.
But yeah, like Roddy Piper was there, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Shane Douglas, Kurt Angle. You know, they were all kind of like in the ring, and then they ended up getting, you know, attacked by zombies, and a lot of them turned into zombies. And
Wow.
it's just basically an action-packed melee of fight scenes. You know, like that.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. You know, it was fun.
And the zombies are putting up a pretty good fight in that one?
Yeah, and plus they hired a bunch of like independent wrestlers
Uh-huh.
that played their zombies, so these guys can actually take like real punches and real,
Oh, wow.
you know, bumps. Like my one friend is from up around Pittsburgh.
Mm.
He got hit in the head with a pan like 8 times by Piper. I think you can see that in the
Oh, wow.
clip that they put on the internet, the trailer.
Yeah.
And Piper said he didn't realize it. He said this guy was like screaming and he didn't even realize it. He thought he was hitting the sink, and he ended up in a hospital for concussion.
Dang.
And yeah, they were taking real bumps. I mean, they were like throwing each other, and just like they do in the ring. I mean, it's just really, you know,
Oh, wow.
taking the bump. So they let us stay back a little bit. Like they made certain lines that we weren't allowed to cross. Like only the guys that knew how to take a bump or could get hurt
Uh-huh.
could be in a certain area, and we had to stay back within like a foot of that area so we wouldn't get hurt. So
Oh,
and they kind of did safety measures. So you know, if we don't have big bumps, those guys take bumps every day. You know.
yeah, I know, right? Like, now, can you see yourself, you know, is making horror films, or, you know, kind of, you know, the bloody things, is that where it stops at for you, is making those types of films, or can you see yourself in the future, you know, maybe switching the genre to something else, or does it just depend on how it works out?
I was just never how it works out. I mean, we love horror, but I also love action movies. I also love comedies.
Mm.
We just got done shooting a short that possibly might be part of a 3-part series where it's going to be 3 shorts into a full feature, and kind of like Creep Show, where you have like 3 different stories.
Oh, okay.
And we finished our first segment, and we have I don't have the contract signed yet, don't know if I'm going to say his name or not, but
Right.
he's one of George Romero's guys who started, he's a main star in one of his movies.
Oh.
So he's on board. All we have to do is go to Pittsburgh and shoot it,
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much that short will be done. And we have 2 more. It's kind of a paranormal type movie where the girl has cameras like set up in her house, and she just got let out of the psychiatric ward, and they don't, you don't know if it's in her head or if it's really happening. All kinds of weird things are happening in the house and stuff. So it's kind of a cool story.
Oh, wow. Now, how many have you ever been in a position where you're shooting more than one project at the time? Like you're shooting a few different things, as a matter of fact?
We're probably going to be end up doing that pretty soon, because we already have like 6 scripts lined up, and like some 3 of them are shorts that you know, we're kind of filming, you know, whenever.
Right.
And then like I said, we have another one coming up this spring or summer we have to shoot. It's called Duncan the Dog One, and I'm gonna play Duncan, and he's a psychiatric orderly. He used to work at a psychiatric hospital.
Uh-huh.
And the hospital
And so so these people may be actually living there after the place closes down, but would they have died and their spirits are living there, or did they just kind of have to stay there alive after the place closed down?
They just stay there when they're alive.
Oh,
they have no other place to go. Sometimes, like when they close down hospitals down, you don't go to the hospital anymore. They're like, hey, you're free now. You're better.
Oh, wow.
So many people don't have a place to go, so they're just kind of like, vagrants out there in the woods and stuff.
That's an interesting plot. I've never I don't know, maybe I'm late on things, but I've never actually heard quite a plot like that. That sounds pretty interesting. That's got to be a great twist to that, because people can't imagine, I don't even think most people knew that necessarily. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, when it closes down like that, these people are like, okay, we have nowhere to go, so we'll just stay here. I mean, things have got to get crazy in a situation like that.
Yeah, you should wait for the twist.
Oh.
You got some pretty amazing twist on that one, too.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely be looking forward to that one. Absolutely. Go ahead.
Trying to get there's the one actor that we got that was starring in one of the Romero films.
Mm-hmm.
He's in one of the ones also. He's been in like 4 or 5 of his films. But he's in Dawn of the Dead.
Oh.
We thought about bringing him and like some of the other Dawn of the Dead guys in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So like one of our kill scenes, bring like 5 or 6 of them in, celebrities, and kill them all.
Right.
Kind of have like a Dawn of the Dead or a Day of the Dead kind of reunion, They all get killed by me.
Yeah. Now again, just like with your first project, having Hacksaw, having Jeremy from Walking Dead, being your first project like that, how do you again, I say without giving out any secrets, but how do you get these great cast members like that? People that are so well known in doing your first project like that. They have to believe in your work, and there's obviously some credibility there. But how do you pull that off? Other than just
and there's another bonus in our movie. There's a band that did our end credit song. They're called Bubble Effects.
Uh-huh.
And they tour around U.S. wide, all the time, and they're huge. They have like 100 and some thousand people on their band site.
Right.
And they used to be, they had a record label, and then their record label went belly up, and then they had to fight for like a year to get their rights back, to get their music. So now they just do independent.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, why do we want to make the record company all the money? We can do it ourselves now. So
right.
So they're independent, but they're as big as a record label.
Mm-hmm.
Band. They're an amazing band.
Mm-hmm.
And we got them on board to do the end credit song for us. And if you watch the trailer, Bad Man is the song by Bubbleplex that plays in the trailer. So they're just an amazing band.
Oh,
and so we got those guys on board, and I think all that came from my background in being a sports marketing agent, and my business background. Like I said, I had 4 years of business college, and it's all like it's all about business. Figuring out what you need to do and get it done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what? Sorry, now that you say that makes a lot of sense. As a matter of fact, you having again, like you say, you just having that business skill and people knowing your reputation as well. In other words, knowing how to put a plan together.
Right, and we knew almost everybody that we picked as far as like I said, Hacksaw and Jeremy. We have another girl that is a local girl, Megan Marie Wilson. She's done 5 or 6 other movies, and we knew we could get her because she lives within like 12 minutes of us. Mm-hmm. And like I said, she already had a pretty good star meter, so were lucky enough to get her because she was local. And like I said, Jeremy, we became friends at the Pro Wrestling vs. Zombies, and we definitely wanted to get him on board because, like I said, he's been in all kinds of movies.
Right.
And like I said, Major, I had to end with him because we've been really good friends since 2001. But as far as like in West Virginia, there's like hardly anybody more popular than Major Harris in West Virginia. I mean, maybe like Jerry West or something that came out of WVU. And, he's like the greatest football player that ever played in West Virginia. So we don't have a professional team, so we love our college sports in West Virginia.
Of course. And you got some good college teams.
I mean, locally, he brought us more attention than Hacksaw, which was crazy. I mean, Hacksaw's like huge, nationally known everywhere. But locally, they concentrated on Major Harris about him being in the movie.
You know what? That's good because it also shows that it shows the town support too, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, and they've been the newspaper's been very, very helpful.
Okay.
They always put in our casting things, and if we had a premiere, they always put in nice paper articles for us and stuff. So we're very happy to have a paper on our side.
Right, and of course that also, that also is a good, just a good look in general because you all are also getting the town and the people from where you are. You're being able to make them involved, and I think that's a real big deal. If because not there weren't are there a lot of films normally shot there, or you guys kind of opening the door for that?
Well, ever since like coming off with the Pro Wrestling vs. Zombies in public, but there's 2 or 3, maybe 4 other guys in this area now that are starting to make films. So pretty soon it's going to be pretty like little horror Hollywood. I think a lot of them are horror movies.
Right.
So,
and you know what? You all have I guess you kind of have the scenery for that too. Are you planning on? Look, when you get ready to film and you're doing your outside scenes, you watch the weather forecast first, or are there times where you plan to shoot something outside and then it rains? Like, how do you get lucky with that?
Well, we were very fortunate in our shoot. We ended up having a 10-day shoot for our movie, and there was one day we wanted to get the end scene of the Axeman walking away. At the very end of the movie, it was supposed to be the Axeman walking away, kind of in the sunset, and smashing an axe like into a stump, just walking away. And Batman from Bubbleplex is supposed to be playing.
Okay.
So that was supposed to be the end of the movie. So we get out to the field where we're going to do that and have the stump, and we have the axe. We're getting ready to film, and like as soon as we say action, it just starts pouring down the rain. I mean, it didn't look like it was going to rain. I mean, I thought we could get our 10-minute scene and be out.
Right.
And we're sitting there with trying to trash bags all over the cameras and running the cars. So needless to say, we never did get to shoot that scene. And we got back and we started talking about it. And we ended up writing, my wife ended up writing another ending to the movie that we ended up liking even better. So.
Oh, okay. So it kind of so it worked out. In other words.
Yeah. So sometimes things don't work out the way you need it to be, but then there's a reason you find a better way to do it. Like it seems like a better deal.
Yeah. Now, okay. What I know you spoke about the different projects coming up, but what is the nearest thing that we can kind of look for from you guys in the future?
Well, I think the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take some time off to, promote this movie and probably in the spring go to some conventions and stuff. So I'm thinking either the beginning of spring, like maybe March, or before the end of summer is we're going to try to film Duncan.
Okay.
Because I think that's the strongest script I think that we have that my wife wrote, and I think it's the best story. I mean, it makes it really, it's kind of a cross between like Long Turn and I Spit on Your Grave.
Oh wow.
I mean, it's just a really kind of twisted. I was really proud of my wife. I read it and I was like, wow, you kind of, you went there, you know?
Yeah. Now, how long is it taking? Like, how long does it sit down for you all to really sit down and really write a script? Is it like months? Does it take a month or 5 months? Like, how long is it? Or does it depend? Does it just depend?
She really seems to be a natural at it. I mean, she decided to write the Axeman script. I would say it took maybe like a week.
Wow.
But then as we're like filming it and stuff, it was kind of, I mean, this is probably true like in any movie. You know, you pretty much rewrite stuff almost. You know, either you come up with something better, or you sit there and you look at the script, and then you look at what you have available, and it's not really matching up. You know, you're like, we can't do that because we don't have this, you know, so
right.
You have to rewrite certain things. And like I said, it was basically a never-ending process there from the beginning to end. I mean, it really went on for like 6 months, but the initial thing that we called the script at first took her about a week. But then, like I said, we started doing some more add-ons. Like some people, you let people read it, and they'd be like, oh, you know, you should flesh out this character. You should flesh this out a little bit more. So we write a couple other scenes to kind of introduce you more to like some of the characters. Then when the mayor was originally only supposed to be like one scene. He was going to come in and like argue with Jake, who's our sheriff. But then when we lost Sabine, we got Hacksaw. I figured Hacksaw would be, you know, he'd be happy to do more scenes. So we wrote like, she wrote like two or three more scenes. So he's actually in like 4 scenes now.
Oh wow.
In there. So,
you know, and that's also another kind of big deal too. Like, because when you talk about the mayor and the sheriff, you mean the actual mayor of the town and like the actual sheriff?
Yeah, I mean, Hacksaw was the mayor of the town, and we had actor Rush Whitaker. He was Jake Kennedy. He was the mayor, the sheriff of the town.
Oh wow.
And then Jeremy was one of the deputies, and then Hidden Gem, a guy I knew for like 8 years, and he sang karaoke with me for like the past 8 years, and we decided, you know, we had him come in for a reading. And he was like one of our best leads. And we're like, wow, you know, we need you to be, you know, one of the deputies because he has a full-time job and he couldn't do any more than a deputy. I mean, we couldn't even think of him for the sheriff because he worked too much.
Right.
So we're like, he was just a natural. I mean, he did really good. His name was Bob Butler, and like I said, he did an amazing job. And it was the first time he's ever done like, any acting at all. He never did acting in like high school or college or anything. It's just really natural, had a great delivery. He's kind of like a comedy relief in the movie. He had like a lot of one-liners and not a real good line.
Right.
And they say he did like a blessing with this guy. I was like, wow, we found this guy and I've known him for 9 years.
And you know what? That's you know, sometimes that's how it is though. You know, once you decide to put something together, because it actually gave a lot of people around you an opportunity to explore some of the talents that they just had never been able to utilize at first. And yeah, so it made it, you know, it brought that out of them, which is a real big deal. And then I'm sure once they did it, they were all like, okay, this is fun. And I bet they want to continue doing it, don't they?
Yeah, Bob does. I mean, and I told him, I said, you know, every movie we have, you have a role. I mean, I'm not going to tell you, it's going to be the leading hand every time, but I mean, You're going to be in there somewhere. It'll be sometimes there's going to be, just to play a comp again,
You know what?
I told because we already have the uniform.
Exactly, right? Right. He's in character already. And you know what? I think that's something else. Great. Listen, you know what? There's the side of making the movie, and making a film for the people who watch it. But then there's also that side of, what you guys are doing too, that, that just has to do with making people feel good about being involved with it. Just, making the person, feel good with being a part of it. It's that kind of homely feeling. And, I think that's wonderful, because there needs to be that side also when it comes to, the people that you're working next to. And I think that's a big deal. A lot of people, sometimes see movies and the first thing they think is, it's just really all about, who you can find with this name or that name to be in your movie, when a lot of times, sometimes your cast has to have a certain unity, I think. Would you agree?
Right.
Yeah. So that.
I think I would say, pretty much none of our cast members got paid except for Hacksaw.
Right.
We did give Jeremy some expense money because he lived 4 hours away. We gave Major Harris some expense money because he lived 2.5 hours away.
Right.
But everybody else volunteered their time, and like I said, they did a tremendous job. I mean, it was many days that we had 18-hour days. I mean, 18-hour on set.
Wow.
And some of those days didn't go too well. I mean, there's one day that I can remember vividly that one of those days that nothing went right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it went for 18 hours of nothing going right.
Right.
I was ready to quit. I was, it's done. Like, nobody knows the stress of a movie until they do it. I mean, it really is so hard.
Yeah.
And not even just doing the movie itself. I mean, a lot of it is the problem that we have. Like, so we're a micro budget film. I mean, we spent $5,000 on the film. I mean, we're not Hollywood. We don't have tons of money.
Right.
So, we can't pay people take time off work, so we have to work around their work schedules.
Right.
And if you look at our IMDb, I think we had 32 people on a cast. Imagine trying to do 32 people's scheduling for shooting.
Yeah.
When you can't, certain people have to be with certain people.
Mm.
I don't know how we did it. I mean, we did it in 10 days, and I sit and look back now, and I'm just amazed. How did we get this done? I mean, a few people dropped out, and we had, because of work scheduling, they're like, they would call in and say, I'm sorry, I can't be there, and I'll be like, great.
And that's something, and that's serious too, like you say, like, when you're shooting a film or shooting a movie and people start calling in and saying they can't do it, that's not like, maybe, other jobs that people do, because there's really you're talking about characters. So when people don't show up for work, you can't just get another character, you know what I mean? Like, unless
if it's a main character that you've already shot, you pretty much have to cancel the day of shooting.
Right.
Luckily, we never had to do that. Most of ours were, people that were kind of like the scene I had with Carl, where it's just, in a 5-minute scene.
Okay.
And that's the only time they were ever in the movie. So then we can call, like I said, I'm a karaoke DJ host, so I have like 2,000 friends. So I call somebody up and be like, hey, can you be here tomorrow for a movie at noon? You want to play this part?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh yeah, I'd love to be in it. So,
right. Yeah, I get.
It worked out pretty good. It worked out good. And then sometimes, like I said, the pizza guy, I ended up going in on that part, because that originally wasn't, my role.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, yeah, I could do it. Just shave my head, shave my beard, and I'll just, he's just kind of slightly off,
Hey, Hey, but you know what? That's still that's still good though. Like that's still actually good that you were able to do that and just switch it up like that. At the last minute, to be able to do it. And honestly, that's how you get what you want to get done. Like by not letting that stop you. It means a lot.
And like so some of the stuff, like when people watch the movie, they say it's a low budget film, so it doesn't have Hollywood, like editing and some of the looks and stuff. And there's a few problems here and there. And one of the problems we had was, the night I told you nothing went right.
Right.
I mean, we do have some sound issues, and we have a few things that I don't like about the scene.
Mm-hmm.
But the week after we shot there, the restaurant closed, so we couldn't get back in there to do any reshoots.
Oh wow!
So what we had to use. So we had to cut out about 5 to 7 minutes of the movie that we kind of liked, had some good lines that we liked that we couldn't use because the sound was messing up. It was kind of like when you put a condenser on it to try to get the background noise out to bring out the vocals.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of became like real gargly and you couldn't, almost kind of like robotic-y or something. So we couldn't use it. And then there was another scene where one of the, I think it was Jeremy, brought in an axe, and the line was, when he was on the axe, he's like, bag it and tag it, and he's like, already done it, he's holding the axe, he was supposed to not bring the axe in, and just, I had already done it. Mm-hmm. So we had to cut that out, because he didn't still have an axe in his hand. And the sheriff's looking at him like, the heck do you have an axe in your hand for? Just, small things like that we couldn't go back and redo because the restaurant had closed down and another one had to open back up, so.
Wow. And I guess they just kind of closed down a bit of the spur of the moment, like you guys didn't even know that was going to happen, I assume.
Yeah, we didn't really know. It's a place I had done karaoke at, and she was a really nice lady. It's called the Hillbilly Sandwich Shack. Mm-hmm. And, we used that place for like 5 different places. It was a really cool place because it was kind of set up like 5 or 6 different kind of places, Right. It had a back room that was like a bar that we used for a tavern. It had a front toilet that looked different that we used for a pizzeria.
Right.
And then we had a hallway that we put some tables on and we made that a diner. And then her office we cleared out and made that Hacksaw's office. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, we had, 4 or 5 different places in that one place.
Oh, wow.
So when that shut down, we kind of lost all opportunities of making any kind of reshoots at all.
Right, because that location had played such a such a meaningful part at first when you guys shot there. And so right, and so you had to basically cut it out because you couldn't find somewhere sort of relative to be able to shoot it again. It would have been just something totally different.
Right.
Especially
now the place is reopened, so I haven't been there, so I don't know if they've changed anything. Mm-hmm. Because once they change stuff, you're pretty much done. You have to reshoot everything. You just have to hold ahead and do the whole movie if they change something on the wall.
Right.
Which I'm sure they have because they took down the hillbilly stuff and probably put what they wanted up.
Right. Now, before we get ready to get out of here, I want to ask you, for the people out there and the listeners, because like you say, making movies by no means are easy. You're dealing with your time, you're dealing with other people's times. There's a lot of preparation that goes into this. You all put this together without, as we know, without going to school. You managed to put together a great cast. You shot it, in a very timely fashion, and this all began from something you wanted to do, and you made it happen. What advice would you give to people out there, in the same position where they look, they want to follow that goal, they want to do it. You've got to work with the resources that you have. Some people might think that you can't do it, but to be able to do it and get it done as well as you all did, what advice would you have for people?
What I always say is just do it. I mean, everything I've ever wanted to do in life, I've pursued it. I wouldn't let, like a job hold me back. If I wanted to do something that I thought, could be my passion, that I could try to support my family with, I would do it. Like I said, I became a charity guy for 9 years. I was a sports marketing agent, and I also dabbled in like sports memorabilia for like 20 years because it was my passion. So now I want to do the movies. You gotta take chances in life because people just don't give you stuff. You have to go out and work as hard as you can work at what you love to do if you want to do something that you love to do. Because you can't do like I did for 20 years and think, I should make a movie. Finally I did, and I'm glad I did. Same way with the DJ karaoke thing. It's something, I dabbled in it in college. I guest DJ'd on some college radio stations and stuff. I had a blast, but for 20 years, I didn't do any of that. And when I started doing it and started becoming, successful, I was like, why didn't I do this 20 years ago? I should have done it,
Right.
Stuff that you love, you should go ahead and try to find a way, to make money doing that. That way you enjoy your life a lot better. Because, personally, I would rather, make less money and be happy in life than make a little bit more money and be miserable.
Yeah. That's absolutely.
That's my motto. And then, like I said, if something, like I said, if the movie break out and I become, rich or something, that's just an added bonus. But, same way with the therapy ended up being where I made, more money than I probably would have at a normal job. So, I mean, sometimes you do make more money. But like I said, as long as I'm supporting my family and I'm comfortable, I don't have to make, millions of dollars, but I enjoy doing what I do,
Exactly.
That's the way I look at it.
Well, in the direction I see you going, Larry, I definitely see you being successful. I'm one person speaking for a couple people, but like anything else, I looked at the title of the movie, I looked at the cast, again, I saw some stills in it, and sometimes you just get a feeling without seeing something. You kind of just get a feeling that, hey, this is going to be a film worth looking at. And it shocked me. It honestly shocked me when I found out that this was your first film. I would have never thought that at first. But, again, looking at what you do, it just seems like you've proven that things can be done when you put your mind to it, when you have the business aspect like you have. Because listen, behind your idea, it obviously took some skills and it took some know-how. It took discipline, and it took all of that. And apparently you brought it all to the table to make a wonderful movie. And I'm sure everyone's going to be happy with it. I know people can't wait to see Hacksaw, Jim Duggan in the scene as well. A lot of people have been missing out on what's been going on with him. So first, we want to thank you for bringing him back to the table as well.
Yeah, Hacksaw's a great guy. I mean, he's such a wonderful human being. I mean, he's so fun. After we were done on set, we had a couple hours to chill before we had to get back to his flight. And I also have a video store where I sell like used DVDs and stuff like that. And he came back to my video store for like 2 hours. He was sitting there looking through the wrestling DVDs. Oh yeah, I remember this. This is awesome. It's great, Yeah. And we went out to eat. And he's just a great guy.
All right. And so you said you got a video store out there too. Would plug? Make sure you.
Yeah, we have I have a booth that's inside of a vendor's mall. It's called Peddler's Junction, and we can carry a movie there also. I've got about 15,000 DVDs. I carry CDs, video games, that kind of stuff. So I actually had the movie store before I made the movie. So.
See, you was already right in the category already. I get look.
I figured, hey, I have an outlet to sell it, so let's make it.
Once again, that's the businessman thinking smart. Now, sorry. Go. I was going to say now. I know people can obviously come to the video store and or pick out what they want, but are people able to maybe call or contact you all to possibly order videos or games or DVDs or things of that nature as well?
We don't do that as much for the store because it's just too massive. It's a vendor's mall where it's kind of a self-serve facility.
Okay.
So it's actually one of those places that I don't even have to be there. So
right.
I just go in there and I put my stuff on the shelves and they send me a check like twice a month. So
oh man, that's good.
It's a perfect deal. I mean, we make money, and like I said, I have to get down there maybe an hour a day to straighten up and stock the shelves, and it gives me free time to make movies or to go find some rare obscure movies I want to sell in my store or whatever. We've just always been movie buffs. I mean, that's why we decided to make the movie. And like I said, I think it's kind of how we knew the formula of how to make the movie, because we've seen so many movies, and we've seen the good ones and we've seen the bad ones, and we've seen a lot of, we listened to a lot of the commentary. And I don't know if you know this, you've seen Saw, right?
Yep, I have.
So we listened to that commentary, and he's like, oh yeah, we had this guy for a day, we had this guy for a day, we had this girl for a day, and we had to get all this done in one day, and there were reshoots. So they ended up having some reshoots, and the guy that wrote it and directed it actually was in a wig on some of those ones, and they went ahead and shot some of those reshoots and just used the back of their head as the actor. They weren't even really the actor. So it was just like him standing there and then redoing the scene.
What?
And that's what, even a movie like Saw, something happens, you just keep chugging, you just keep going, and I had no idea that some of the main actors weren't even in their scenes. And so I started watching it, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, that does look a little different.
Yeah.
You don't notice it when you're watching it. We actually had the same thing. We have a scene where one EMT goes running in, and this was the 18-hour day I was telling you about. It was about 6:30. The EMT guy looks at me, he's like, buddy, I gotta go teach some really angry school kids here in about an hour.
Yeah.
He said if I go to take off to go to my teaching job, I'm like, no problem, man. Just go ahead and, we'll figure something out. I figured I could just put the shirt on and the hat on.
Right.
And the guy that we actually hired to film the movie, he actually just threw the shirt on and threw the hat on and was sitting there, tending the girl,
Yeah.
And nobody even notices. I mean, it's funny, you just do what you gotta do, and most people aren't gonna notice.
Right.
Something like that.
And
because they're so tied up to what that person's saying and what that person's doing, you're not really looking off to the side. Like I said, I've seen our movie about 1,000 times, and I can tell you about, every single little flaw and every single little, there's a new can that shouldn't be there, this or that, and it's just, there's a little thing that shouldn't be in there that kind of is.
Right, but no one
people don't notice.
Like you say, people don't notice because with a good story and a good plot, people are watching for that in general. They're interested in the movie, and they're not, kind of paying attention to those small things. They're concerned with, look, who did it, who's gonna get cut next, and certain scenes like that. So, absolutely. Listen, Larry, once again, we congratulate you. Oh, also, again, let everyone know where they can check out Axemen in Henderson County for now. I mean, I know you guys say you're waiting for distribution, but there are a couple places I believe you say they can be picked up at.
Yeah, right now if you just go to eBay and put the search in of Axemen in Henderson County, DVD will come up. Also, locally, the Sound Exchange in Parmiter, West Virginia, Peddler's Junction in Belpre, Ohio, we sell physical copies there. And pretty soon, like next week, the week after, there's going to be several other stores in Ohio and West Virginia that will be carrying the movie. I just need to get to them and work out a deal with them.
Right.
More independent, like, movie stores and record stores and stuff like that.
All right. All right. Well, so everybody out there, everybody out there listening heard it. If you're out there in Ohio, make sure you get the film. Be looking for it in West Virginia coming also soon. We're going to go online, as a matter of fact, down here on eBay or somewhere like that and pick up the movie ourselves. Because like I say, we're looking forward to seeing that film. And, listen, we wish you guys much more success. We know we're going to be... We know we're going to be seeing a lot more from you, Larry. Again, you guys did a great job on the first project. Also, give your wife all our congratulations too for writing some wonderful scripts and making all that happen. And come back on the show. We want to make sure you come back on the show too and kind of keep us posted on what else is coming up in the future and what's going on. Also, Larry, if you don't mind. So.
And tell everybody to go to IMDb and give us a good rating. Right now we have 8.9 with 30 reviews. So. Oh,
okay. You know what? Yeah. Look, everybody out there listening, do that. Go to IMDb, and once they go to IMDb, and that's I as in ears, M as in money, D as in dollar, B as in boy, and and that's to let everybody know, because a lot of people don't know about IMDb, as a matter of fact, unless they're in the industry. Make sure you get, yeah.
And then punch in the accent of Henderson County. It'll come up. It'll say rate me. It'll say 1 through 10. I said, if you haven't seen it, you think it'll be a cool movie, give it a good rating. Absolutely. Make sure you go support Larry Parmiter. Also, make sure check out. Make sure you're checking out the Keith Harris social networks and Twitters and websites and stuff like that to keep up with what's going on. Larry, Facebook. Is there a Facebook page or Twitter page or anything for Axemen in Henderson County? Yeah, you can go to the Axemen of Henderson County on Facebook. There's a Facebook page, and you can also go to Semi-Tron Productions on Facebook, and you can also get movies through there if they don't have eBay accounts. They can just message me through there, and they can pay like PayPal, or they can pay by money order, and I can send them a copy.
Okay, sounds wonderful. And for anybody out there listening to the interview that may have, weren't able to keep up with some of the things that we were saying, if you want to go check out or just reiterate on anything that we spoke about today, make sure that you go check the interview that Larry and I are having right now. You can check it on the Facebook social network this evening. It'll be up. You can go to the YouTube. You can click to that link and it'll take you to it as well. That way you can find out about where you can keep up with his work and also go pick up the movie as well. Larry, we thank you so much for being on here with us today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, look, you know what, man? You're welcome here anytime. We're looking forward to this interview. Like, from the time we set it up, it took us so long to finally get to this date. I'm glad we got here.
The first one we had set up was like Thanksgiving Day or something. So I can't do that when I won't be here.
You know what? As a matter of fact, it was. We said it right on Thanksgiving Day. So.
Yeah, when Joe called me up and was like, "Can you do this date?" I'm like, "I wasn't thinking about it." Yeah, sure. And I looked up, like, "Oh, Thanksgiving." I don't know if I can do that one.
I know. I think we both thought about it probably about the same time. Also, I guess we want to send a big shout out to Joe Williamson as well. The guy does wonderful work. Great networker. Good at what he does. Great at his craft. So. Yeah, so big shouts out to him. All right, Larry, we'll be talking to you soon. Keep up the good work. Everybody, make sure you go check out Larry Parmiter online. Check out his movies. Keep up with what's going on. That way, everybody out there can say, "Listen, I heard from this guy." Before he's got the feature films flying all over the place and stuff like that, you can remember that you heard from him right here on the Keith Harris Show Global Network. Larry, we'll be talking to you soon. You have a good evening up there in Ohio.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye-bye. That was Larry Parmiter, wonderful actor and director. They're doing big things. Axman in Henderson County. Look, people, I want to see that movie myself. As a matter of fact, I suggest you all go check it out. Wonderful cast in the film. Larry Parmiter is in the film. Hacksaw Jim Duggan is in the film. Jeremy Adler from Walking Dead is in the film, and some other people as well. So it's a big thing. You don't want to miss it. Be looking out for that to hit the feature films in the near coming future, and also keep up with more projects coming out from him as well. Don't forget, you can go back and check this interview out once again on the Facebook social network sites. You can check us out at the YouTube link as well later on tonight, so you don't have to miss a thing. All right, don't go nowhere. You listen to the Keith Harris Show Global Network right here.